in the last couple of months, I've done a couple of videos about home education and the value of home education, especially given what's going on with governments promoting a trans agenda and wanting us to eat insects, wanting our kids to eat insects in school. Well, in this video, I'm going to be doing a follow-up on a home education conversation and what happened with a friend of mine whom I recommended it to. Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. If you're watching this on YouTube, then please come over to bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey. I post way more material there, and some of that material is far too spicy for YouTube. It's just an email sign up, no KYC, nothing to pay. So come and subscribe to me on bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey. So follow me on Twitter and join my official Telegram announcements channel. Okay, hey Alex, thank you so much for coming back again.
You're welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Now, just to introduce ourselves, you and I are good friends. And also, you came onto my channel before to talk about a particular investment. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it in a few sentences?
You invited me on originally because I wanted to sell a very small piece of an investment that I made 20 years ago in a private Australian energy company. I invested 25 grand, and it's now worth 5 million. And so I'm just looking to sell 5 or 10% of that and diversify out. And the company's basically got two things going on. One is fusion.
NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. Threat protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
Which is basically cheap, renewable energy for all. And the other is a hydrogen-based energy solution that means that they can retrofit existing oil and coal-fired power stations with hydrogen, make them green overnight and run on a fraction of the footprint and a fraction of the energy.
Yes, and the company's just won a contract with the Philippines for this retrofit.
Yep, it's done a deal with the Philippine government. It's done a deal with a whole consortium of food companies, including Mars, in Southeast Australia. They've got people lining up around the world wanting to do business with them. It's about to go ballistic.
Right. And the shares are privately traded because it's a privately owned company. It's not going to be public listed. And then if people are interested, one is they can watch the video, which I'll link to in the description below, where you go into more detail. But also on this website, which is at the bottom, looking for your way out of the rat race. Actually, here's the video. I'll link to this website. And that's the interview you and I did, where you talk about the investment. And here's the page where you talk about how the shares have gone up because they're privately traded. It's fully regulated within Australian law and stuff. There's no restrictions on where you can buy it. And then what you do is you click this link, you'll be able to schedule a call with Alex and he'll talk you through it. And there's no obligation to buy anything. You know, you can buy a small amount of shares or a large amount of shares, but at the very least, I recommend finding out more. So watch the video.
You should definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying that because I'm looking to sell some of my shares. I've been introducing people to it. I think nearly 100 people now have introduced to it over the years. And only now am I looking to sell just a few of my shares.
And you're looking to sell a few of your shares because you want to live the good life, is that it?
Yeah, basically, but diversify.
Right.
As any good investor should. If one investment has done well and you're top heavy, then you need to take some profit out of that and spread the risk.
Right. Okay. And then the other thing that you're going to use it for is the life of leisure that you're creating for yourself and your daughter. Because you and I spoke about home education. And I said to you, you've got to get him out. You've got to get her out. You've got to get her out. And I think that was about 6 weeks ago we talked about it. And she's 14 or 15?
She's 14.
She's 14. Okay. And tell me what happened since that conversation and how's it going?
Well, we did take her out of school.
And how did you? This is in England, by the way. The rules may be different in your particular jurisdiction, but for England and Wales, what you're about to say is how it's done. So, what did you do?
What we had to do was write an official letter to the local authority. First of all, to the school, saying that we were taking her out of school and home educating her. And my partner had dealt with all of the admin with it. And they weren't keen. They did put up a bit of a struggle, and so she just told them in no uncertain terms, no, this is what we're doing. You don't need to ask us any more questions. She kept them off well.
Right. Okay.
Of course, they wanted us to go in and have a meeting and explain, and she said, no, we're not going to do that. We don't need to do that. We've done everything that we need to do according to the law. So we're just taking our daughter out of school.
Right, and that was with the school, right? Did you tell the local authority?
I'm not sure actually whether we did or whether that was the school was the local authority.
No, the school and the local authority are different, right? And just to make it clear, because at the beginning you said the local authority, in England and Wales, all you have to do is to let the school know. You don't even have to give them a reason. Please
that was it.
Take my child off your register. That's it.
I think it was the local authority that got in touch with us.
Oh yeah, the school may then tell the local authority. It's their responsibility, and then the local authority may then get in touch with you, and then you say to the local authority, "No, you're all right. We're taking her out of school. Thank you very much."
Yeah, that's what Jane did.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. All right. And did the local authority? Did they want to come and visit you at home? And
I think that they wanted us to send reports of what we were doing, and again, Jane said, "No, you don't need that. I think she's going to do the very minimum."
Yeah.
And it was you that said, "Look, you don't need to do any of that."
Yeah, it's very good. Certainly not in the beginning. And I would, as a child protection social worker, and then someone who works for local authorities, I would recommend you keep them out of your lives, the local authority out of your lives as much as you can. Have as little as possible to do with them. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's been great. She's so blossomed since we took her out. She was literally under a cloud. It was awful.
Really? I mean, what was she like before coming home from school, and what's she like now?
Well, I mean, the darkest time was that the police knocked on the door at 2 a.m. and said they'd had a call from Childline saying that that she'd called them and had talked about taking a bottle of pills.
Oh wow! She was that unhappy at school.
It had got that bad.
Okay, Alex, hold on a second. For people who are watching this in the US or elsewhere, Childline is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, every day of the year telephone service, an anonymous telephone service for children to report abuse or depression or suicidal thoughts or whatever, wherever a child is distressed and feels they need help. So your daughter contacted Childline and said, I'm going to take some pills. Childline got in touch with the police, and the police turned up at 2 o'clock in the morning. She was that unhappy. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It was spilling over into the family. There was tension. It wasn't pleasant. She would come home and just go upstairs, and it would just be there'd be a dark cloud. It was just this tight ball of tension, and since we've taken her out, it's totally disappeared.
Okay, well, we'll come to that. How did you broach it with her first? What did you say? What did she say?
When we told her,
when we said, look, we've discussed with Crypto Rich, and how do you feel about being home educated? However you said it, what did you say, and what did she say?
We took her out for dinner.
Yeah,
and we said, how would it be if you didn't have to go to school tomorrow, and then you never had to go back again? And there was just this open-eyed wonder, like, could that even be? Is that even possible? And when we explained that that's what we were going to do, it was like all her birthdays and all her Christmases rolled into one. She literally just beamed for the rest of the whole night.
Oh wow!
With
that's
the relief.
So moving. That's so. I'm moved to tears. That's so gorgeous. Because one of the things that school doesn't pay attention to at all, in any meaningful way, is happiness. And children being happy makes such a difference. All we talk about is learning and them being obedient and doing as they're told, but never about being happy. And what I've noticed about home educated kids, they're just so happy. Just so happy. Like you and I, Alex, when we were younger, the school holidays, the long summer holidays, what a great time. And for home educated kids, it's like that all year round.
It never lasted long enough, did they?
It never lasted long enough. That's right. But
Whenever it came around, it was too soon.
it was too soon. Yeah. But fortunately, my 18-year-old and my 15-year-old, it's every day of their lives. Thank goodness. Okay, so you told her this. She was beaming. I suppose the food tasted really good. You and your partner were really, really happy. Yeah.
It was a memorable night.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. And then what happened the following day?
She just didn't go back. She said, when would we do this? And we said, well, from tomorrow. Like, you can go back. I think it was a Friday.
Right.
The next day was a Friday. And we said, you can go in and do one last day if you like, or you don't have to go in. And she just said, I'm not going in.
Wow.
That was it.
Oh, I think she should have gone in and been really boastful. Hey, I'm just coming to say bye.
That's what I said. I said, do you not want to go in and at least say, I'm not going to see you again? She said, no, not even that.
Wow. Okay. All right. So then you told the school on the Monday.
Jane got in touch, I think, the next day on Friday.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. And then that was it. And she didn't go back. Okay. But what about her school friends? What's happened with them?
So most of the friends, she had one best friend from the same school who comes around all the time. So she still sees her. And they both had a friendship group from a different school, and they see those kids all the time as well. So
Right.
so they come around after school or at the weekends, and she hangs out with them. But during the day, she's doing her own thing.
Oh, we'll come to what she does during the day, right? So aren't her school friends jealous, and don't they like, oh, we want to, especially when they discover what she's doing, because often people think home education is, oh no, it means your mum and dad sitting giving you lessons. Oh no, which isn't my advice to you, right? But when they discover what it's really like, what do they say?
Yeah, I mean, her best friend. I think her best friend is. I think they're all jealous.
Yeah, I would be.
and they all think we're totally cool for taking her out of school.
Oh, the coolest parents ever, despite your advancing 8 years, Alex.
We are so old, let me tell you.
Super cool parents. Okay, so what does your daughter do during the day? What does she do the first day of not being at school?
Well, like you said, initially there's just a period of decompression that's needed, and she needs to just sort of work her way through that, because she actually went to school for 9-10 years in some form, and the longer it went on, the worse it got. So yeah, she needed to work all that out. So for the first few weeks, it was just like summer holiday. It was just like, do what you like.
And that process that the decompression process, I like that phrase, actually called deschooling. That you need to get
right.
that when a child gets pulled out of school, what the kid needs to do is to get the school out of his or her head, and that is like just go do nothing, no pressure whatsoever to do any kind of study. If they want to study themselves, it's entirely up to them. Yeah,
and frankly, we're still in that phase,
right?
And anything that she's doing, has come from her. So, for example, she's really keen. I mean, first of all, she started doing stuff around the house. I'm being quiet because she's probably not far away. But how many years have we tried to get her to, clean up after herself, clean her room, put stuff in the dishwasher? She started doing all of that.
Okay, I can say for anybody watching, there's no guarantee that your home-educated children would do this.
No, but I'm just saying, I would have thought she'd have done the opposite. But actually, she's engaging more with us. She's doing more around the house because there's more of her available to engage with her. She's not having to deal with all of the pressure.
Yes.
In fact, it's a similar coming out as we took in a rescue dog. We already had a dog, but we took in another rescue dog a year ago from Romania, and she was this uptight ball of tension, skittish, nervous. Would when she ate, it was like the last and the first time that she'd ever eaten. And now she's a totally different dog, and she's totally relaxed in the year that we've had her. And I'm seeing the same process happen with Daisy.
That's amazing.
Anyway, stuff that she's doing. I mean, she did a first aid course because she wanted to earn some money. and so she is doing mother's help, like home help, looking after a 9-year-old, I think, and that's 2 hours a day, and that starts this week. So she's going to be earning like, I don't know, 50, 60 quid a week doing that.
A 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. And now she is, this is with through an organization or a friend or a neighbor?
Actually, it's through a network. It was through one of the home education networks that we joined.
Yeah, because that was the one thing I said. It's really important that you get connected to the local home ed community. And they're a sort of underground community, a legal underground community, right?
Yeah.
Living this alternative life. By the way, there's another underground community, which are the Christian home educators. And they're not connected with the non-Christian home educators, because what they tend to do is school at home, and then it's all church-based and Bible-based and everything. They keep themselves to themselves. But that's a massive, massive underground community, completely distinct from this other underground community, and they're all doing the same thing. Okay, so she's earning £50 a week.
Well, it starts this week. I think she's going to be earning 60 quid a week.
Wow.
And it's only 2 hours a day, and that's not at weekends either. So she's got her weekends free to hang out with her mates, go and spend her money.
That's okay. So she's going to learn about the value of work. She's going to learn about responsibility. She's going to she's doing something that she loves, taking care of somebody else. She's going to have to learn about what to do with the money, how to manage money, because all the stuff that school doesn't teach you.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm on hand with all of that.
Yeah, and my son.
Ready. I'm not going to force that on her.
Yeah, no, but she's going to do that anyway. My son, who's 18, he had a newspaper around for a year or so, and the agent from the newspaper round company said that home educated kids who do the newspaper round, he said they're so much better than the school kids. They do it because they want to. They're fully responsible and reliable. He said the school kids are doing it under pressure, or because they have under some sort of pressure from parents or peers, or they have to. It's very different, because your daughter doesn't have to do this, does she?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow, she's created it for herself.
I also came across someone. I volunteer at the local food bank. Yeah. And one lady came in. She had a daughter, and she said she's gone through a bit of a hard time, but she said, I'm getting back into makeup. I'm a makeup artist, and I was telling her about my daughter, and she said, if she's good at, because I said she'd like to go to beauty school, but she can't do that in this country until she's 16. And she said, well, she just wants to get a video camera and film herself messing around doing just with her mates, or doing makeup, and then post it online. She said she'll earn thousands. I said, would you come round and have a chat with her about that? She said, yeah, sure. So that's something else that we're going to do. Again, I said, would you be interested? She said, yeah. Jane has got her. Is said that Jane herself wants to do
Jane, your partner.
A barista course, like making proper coffee. And she said, "Would you like to come and do that with me?" Daisy said, "Yeah, sure." She said, "When I go traveling, I'll be able to, get a job in a coffee bar wherever I go."
That's amazing. So one of the things I've noticed about my children being home educated is they're up for stuff, because they're not compelled to do anything. So it's all an invitation. Do you want to do this? Yeah, okay. Do you want to do this? Yeah, okay. Do you want to do this? Yeah, okay. I actually got to a point with my son, because my daughter wanted to do ballet, and for a whole year our son, her older brother, badgered us. Can I do ballet? Can I do ballet? You're doing too much. We don't want to spend all our lives driving you around from all the different clubs and activities. I want to do ballet. I want to do it for a whole year. Okay, and then he finally let go of doing gymnastics. Fine, now you can do ballet. So he started doing ballet when he was 9 or 10 or something. Absolutely loved it. Teacher loved him. And he left when he was 14. I wanted him to stay, but that's to do with my own missed dreams of being 14, 15, surrounded by ballerinas, and I'm the only bloke. I never got that opportunity.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're just up for stuff. Okay, and what is she doing nowadays? Is the rest of the time when she's not, what does she do during the day?
There's a certain amount of hanging out. She stays up later than we do because she doesn't have to go to school, and we've said, yeah, fine, we've let go of that. She doesn't get up till much later than we do, and she goes to bed much later than we do. But what does she do? I don't know. Couldn't tell you everything that she does. But when the kids come round, they're all up there having a ball, hooting, and it's a completely different vibe to even 2-3 months ago.
Yeah. Much, and then you don't have the worry and the concern about having an unhappy daughter, because the way school works, school, in my opinion, terrorizes children, terrorizes them, imposes all these rules and regulations and strictures and demands on them that are antithetical to childhood. It's not how children were designed to play. We have the longest attachment phase of any mammal. We play the most throughout. In fact, we play throughout our life. You take into account how adults play, going to the gym, playing football, whatever, doing squash with a mate. We play throughout our lives. There are very few mammals that do that. And that's because it's so good for us socially and in terms of our brain. And physically, of course, right? And school is antithetical to that. Play is restricted to a few minutes a day. No, that's not what it is to be a human child or a human being, right? And then the parents get involved and wrapped up in that. So the school's exerting pressure on the child, and then the parents develop an alliance with the school versus actually being a family unit, cohesive, loving, caring, supportive. No, we are tricked into forming an alliance with this repressive regime for children. So good for you. Now, has she also made friends with home ed community?
She, I imagine, will make friends with this girl that she's going to be looking after next week, who is home educated. We haven't forced her to go to any meetings, networks, join in with anything, and she so far hasn't said that she wants to.
Right.
I could see a time coming where, in the summer holidays, at some point they come and go, I'm bored, and you suggest a bunch of stuff, and whatever you say, it's not it. That's not what they want to do. So we're ready with our, well, what would you like to do? That's not for us to put something on you. What do you want to do? And that's one of the things that we could. I suppose you do suggest stuff, and that could be one of the things we suggest as well.
As an invitation, because there's both my children have a rich range of friends from the home ed community, other home eders that they've met, and the thing that I noticed about them, they're of different ages.
Nice.
Unlike school, right? And then
I think that would be great, and she hasn't so far.
Sure,
but,
sure.
But we'll probably put some opportunities in front of her and say, how about we go and hang out at this?
Yeah,
this thing.
Because they also organise fun trips and stuff. Certainly in the town where I live, I remember there was one winter a few years ago where they got a bunch of tickets for the ice rink for home ed kids.
Nice.
And a certain number of adults had to be there, and I was there, and it was a complete delight. Because you have these home ed kids, different ages, all playing with each other, looking after each other, and they're there because they want to be. And there's no constraint on them, like they spend the rest of the time in a classroom, little more than a children's cell, and then they come out, and then they're free, and they're like, oh my God, crazy energy. No, they're just relaxed and chilled. It was just delightful. So things like that. And then in terms, I think I may have said this to you, but in terms of saying that they're bored, my kids only ever said it very, very few times. And my response was, what do you want me to do about it? Your day. You're bored. Great. Okay. We'll go create something. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, because then what they do, what is happening with your daughter, no doubt you're seeing this, is she is being responsible for her day, minute by minute by minute. And by adding it all up, she's being responsible for her life.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now I don't have this particular concern, but people watching this will have this concern, right? What about exams? How's she going to go to university? What about college? Can she read and write?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah. Yes.
That would have been a concern for me a year ago, maybe.
Mm.
Our daughter wasn't getting the support that she needed. I mean, she was diagnosed with dyslexia and dyscalculia, And so, one of our neighbours is a maths tutor, and he said, "Oh my God, maths must have just been a torture for her." We said, "Yeah, it was." Anyway, all of the stuff that she said that she wanted to do, we said, "Well, okay, at the time, when the time comes, whatever qualifications you need, we'll support you getting those." And I know that if she needs them, she'll be motivated to do it, and she'll do whatever she needs to do.
That's pretty much it.
At the moment, I don't think university's on the cards. I don't think she wants to. If she wanted to, it would be a different story.
That's so great, Alex. What I hear is
she's more practical.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the doorbell.
Okay.
She's more practical. She's if anything, she's in a hurry to get out in the world, earn her own money, be independent, get on with life, rather than do a degree just for the sake of it. That's fair enough if you wanted to be an accountant and you need, or a lawyer, and you needed to study that specific thing. But I think, she has no interest in going and doing a degree just for the sake of doing it. She seems more in a hurry to get out there and actually, have some life skills.
That's so fabulous. That is so fabulous, Alex. And what I hear is you and your partner supporting your daughter to discover who she is and be herself freely.
Yeah.
That she gets to express herself, pursue her heart's passions. Yeah. Do you know? Go on.
It has meant letting go of ideas of how we thought parenting would look, which is a good thing.
Yeah, or what's education look like and stuff.
Exactly.
And what have your friends and family said? Including your partner's friends and family.
I've been quite surprised, actually. We've told everyone that we've told